Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this iconic Sharjah Cricket Stadium. It's the game between Sharjah taking on Ajman. And what an exciting contest we are having here right at the back end of the tournament of the Emirates D10 2026. Well, without wasting further time, let's go straight out of the center. Rizwanur Rahman will be the captains for the toss.
Well, it's the penultimate match of the league stage as Ajman will be taking on Sharjah. Leading team Ajman is Adnan Ul Mulk, and for Sharjah it will be Ritya Arvind. To oversee the proceedings, it will be our match referee, Mr. Siju Sam. Adnan, you've got the coin. Give it a flip, please. Tails is the call. Heads it is. Adnan, you've won the toss. What have you decided?
We look to bowl first. We've been bowling first well in the whole tournament, so we'll continue doing that.
Well, your semi-final spot is at stake. What is the message you have given to your team members?
Play your best you can. This is do or die for us. Like, if we lose this, we'll be out, so there's no other option but to win.
What do you reckon will be a good total to restrict them to?
Somewhere around 100, lower than 100, that we'll be very happy with that.
Good luck. Give us a good game.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You've asked to bat first. Happy with the decision, Ritya?
Yeah, to be honest, we were looking to bat as well. Just to go into the knockouts, we want to get some practice batting first and defending a score. I think that's been a bit of a weakness for us, so hopefully we go and defend out there.
Well, you've been losing tosses, but you've been winning matches. What has been the success, especially coming towards the business end of the tournament?
I think it's just the big players stepping up at the right time. I think Khalid Shah found his form at the right time. Rais has found his form at the right time. I think that's the main secret in such a long tournament. I think you want to peak at the right time, and I think that's what Sharjah did in the last two competitions, and we try to emulate that this tournament as well.
Team news?
We got one change. Wali is in, and who's out? There's one player out.
We'll figure it out from the sheet notes. Thank you very much and give us a good game. Well, the news from the sidelines, Ajman has won the toss and they've decided to field first.
Well, so there we have it, match number 41. Ajman have won the toss. They've elected to field first. This is the playing 11 for both teams. Sharjah right at the top once again. Some serious superstars in their lineup. Ritya Arvind and Khalid Shah right at the top. Mohammad Halan, the exciting right-handed batter at number 3. Rais Ahmed at number 4. Keshav Sharma, Ayan Khan, Irfan Yusufzai, the speedster. Wasim Akram, again another prolific left-arm in-swing bowler. Ibrahim Masood, leg spinner. Wali Muhammad Afridi and Aliyar Muhammad. For the semi-finals tomorrow, certainly promises us to be a mouth-watering contest. Ajman backing themselves. They wanted Sharjah to bat first, so they will be aware about what the target is, and they'll try to get those 2 points. They'll be able to evaluate better with regards to the run chase and how much they need. They will have more control going into the game, but in order to do that, Ajman, they'll need to try and dismiss these 2 batters early on. They need to try and limit Sharjah to an affordable target. But on the other end, Sharjah, well, they've been in red hot form. One of the tournament favorites. Sharjah were certainly very much on the up. These 2 teams are extremely well poised, very well balanced on paper. Khalid Shah and Ritya Arvind, when they get going, well, they will be certainly a treat to watch out for. Ball number 1 about to get underway. It's Zishan Nasir with the new ball. Here we go. Ball number 1 underway. Good delivery. A hint of movement into the right-hander. Nicely bowled there by Zishan Nasir. Hits the deck hard. Well, this surface, sometimes when you do look at it, it does feel like you're playing on a marble top. That's how shining it is. And very hard, and plenty of runs certainly on offer here for the batters. Well, for us, take us through to the first half of the innings. I've just been joined here in the Combox. Pranav Mehta. Pranav, welcome to the Combox, my friend. Hope you've had a good nap.
Oh, absolutely. Loved the nap. Very lucky to get one courtesy of you. It's been a long day. Rather, it's been a long week. I think this is going to be a very, very interesting game because Ajman want to win this and get into the mix of things. On the contrary, Sharjah. What a delivery. What a delivery. Might just go for a boundary, but for majority part of it, it was only praises for the bowler.
Well, that's how cruel the game of cricket can be, isn't it? You bowl perhaps the delivery of the day, only to be squeezed down to the boundary for 4. You have to be a seriously good batter to get some bat on it. And Ritya Aravind is certainly one right up there on top. What a way to get off the mark.
Would you bowl to somebody like Ritya Aravind with that kind of a technique?
Well, you just have to rely more on the probabilities, isn't it? And just look at that for a stroke. Well, this man is a serious player, isn't he? Ritya Aravind. The moment he's pitched that slightly short, he's pulled that behind square. Brilliant stroke there from Ritya Aravind.
What is that shot called? Look at it. Have a very, very close look at it. There's an Indian legend behind whom that shot has been named. That is exactly why I questioned you. Anything out of syllabus, anything out of context with Sri Lanka, you don't answer.
Well, you ask me anything with regards to something like a pull shot and who was absolutely a champion of that, I'll tell you. Well, this has been skied and it's gone over the fielder's head. Has that gone all the way? I think the umpires want to just have a look. And I just think if once again, if my eyesight serves me right, it just bounced inside the boundary ropes.
Time to get you glasses.
Well, you were saying, Pranav Mehta, time to get me glasses or you want a pair of glasses?
Anything. Where I get an opportunity to pull your leg, I'll take it with 2 hands. Coming back to that shot, you have to guess what that shot is called.
Well, in all honesty, I'll tell you, looking at that shot, it did remind me a lot about the great Viv Richards, for example. But an Indian legend is what you did mention, and that is where I'm racking my brains. Are you by any chance referring to Sunil Gavaskar or Srikanth?
You're nowhere around it. It's an all-rounder. Let's this one go. It's named after... Probably you'll recognize stationery.
Oh, you mean the great Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar?
Not really.
Well, I give up, my friend. I'll leave it over to you.
It's called the Natraj shot. Played by the very, 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 very famous Kapil Dev.
All right, you got me there. I'm not so old, my friend. I belong to the newer generations. First over, done and dusted. It's 14 for 1.
Sabir. Back of length and not able to get underneath is Ritya. Was striking close to 200. Khalid Shah is still waiting to face a delivery. Probably if we can get a replay of that shot that was played by Vritya Arvind. Shot high up in the air, over the fielder, good enough. One bounce into the rope, so Vritya Arvind means business here.
Well, this man, look at that. You have to be a serious talent in order to play a short ball over mid-on. That too for someone of the pace and caliber of Sabir. What a serious stroke that was. 18 on the board, Sharjah already, and they're off to a rollicking start. Nicely bowled there. This time a slower bouncer into the pitch, bowling across the line. Ritya Aravind wanted a wide, made eye contact there with the umpire. Well, he's not going to fall for it. These officials are certainly very experienced men. And got away with it, and rightfully so. $18 for no loss. Ritya Aravind, well, he's off to a flyer. 16 of 9 deliveries. Khalid Shah is yet to face a ball. Oh, that's a glorious shot. What a stroke here from Ritya Aravind. Well, this is some serious stuff here from Ritya.
Find me the book where the shot has been explained. Shuffles across the off stump, gets underneath the ball, and drives it through the covers. Almost feels as if Ritya Arvind has his dancing shoes on.
When he gets going, he's a pleasure to watch, isn't he? Well, he's got to... Well, a wide call there by... Late call for a wide there by the umpire. And cause one for the over as well. Well, all I can tell you there, whatever the shot that may be, and you did make a reference to Kapil Dev, and absolutely no disrespect to the great. He was a legend of the game, Kapil Dev. Won the first World Cup for India. But
watch out for the trolls.
But all I can say is I've not seen Kapil Dev, but I've seen Ritya Aravind's belligerent shot here. That was a terrific stroke early on that he played in the over.
You're in trouble, my friend. You're in trouble. You're going to be looking at 1 million tweets firing at you. His name is Atiq, and he's a commentator in the UAE. He doesn't recognize the legendary Kapil Dev.
Well, let alone the tweets. Already my colleague commentator Rizwan Rahman, who hails from Hyderabad, is already giving me in those stares. Last ball of the over. Good delivery. This is a good comeback here by Sabir Ali. After being hit for a couple of boundaries, he's come back quite well. 2 down, it's 23 for no loss.
Samiullah. What an incredible shot! Oh, that stayed in the field. Unbelievable. I thought that's gone to orbit. Sounded so good from the bat of the legendary, the classical, the stylish Khalid Shah.
Well, that was perhaps towards the longer side of the boundary. Well, if it was the opposite side, that would have certainly been a 6. There's easily an 80-85 meter boundary to this side, to the left of Khalid Shah. But yes, that was a very, very good stroke. 25 now on the board already. Khalid Shah, well, he's somebody who doesn't need too many sighters, but one thing that Ajman will seriously scratch their heads about is that they've dropped an opportunity of that man of the first ball. The question here is, how costly is that going to be here for Ajman?
Samiullah, a look-alike of Mujibur Rahman, especially in terms of action at the least. Very similar action. Driven through the covers, travels like a trace of bullet through the ground. Vritti Arvind, watch out for him.
Well, he's been on a zone of his own throughout this tournament. This Emirates D10 2026. Well, that's one thing that seriously impressed me, is this man is showing some serious hunger. He desperately wants to make his way back into the national team. And I'll tell you, if you go by his performance in this Emirates D10, guess what, Pranav? If there's anybody who deserves a chance, it's going to be this man. What a talent. He's been in scintillating form in this Emirates D10. Well, that's been smashed off the back foot, but a brilliant piece of effort on the boundary ropes. That ball was traveling at the rate of knots. Three overs done. Sharjah 32 for no loss.
Sajir into the attack. Slower short delivery will be called as a wide. Also suggested as one for the over. Sagir. Sagir. Another good talent to watch out for, but at the moment it is all about Khalid Shah and Vritti Arvind. 33 on the board. Atiq, what are your expectations? How much should Sharjah get? Ajman needs to chase it down. What would Ajman be comfortable with then?
Well, it's easier said than done, isn't it? But if they can get these two batters out early, then I'd say if they can try and limit them down to about 100, 120. Chance, and the catch has been taken. Well, just as I was saying, they had to get these two batters out early. Well, they've got one of the two big fish. Khalid Shah departs. The catch in the previous over does not come to haunt them. Ajman, this is a big, big moment in the game. Khalid Shah departs. Ajman strikes. This is a big, big wicket. 33 for 1 now. 33 for 1. In walks the stylish right-handed batter Mohammad Halan at number 3. Saghir Khan. Well, he's got the big fish, hasn't he? This man on your screen has just been capped by the UAE once again, making a very, very important breakthrough there for the team. And on that occasion, Mohammad Halan just getting a bottom edge and in the process gets a boundary.
It's a no ball to add salt to the wound. Immediately signaled. I think it's the second bouncer of the over. Very attentive are the umpires. The way they control the proceedings here in the UAE. It's special to watch out. Ooh. Big shot, free hit. Might not have the distance. And they make a complete mess of it. Two fielders who wanted to get things done on their own. No coordination whatsoever. And the batter benefits from it.
Well, that's a poor effort there in the deep. Especially when you have a semi-final spot in the, basically a semi-final spot in the risk of losing it. You cannot afford to drop in those mishaps. Already a catch going down earlier does not prove to be costly, and now the ground fielding, which could have easily been just only a couple, they've given it a boundary. Good comeback here by Saghir Khan. Mohammad Halan hands the strike back to Ritya Aravind.
Looking at that fielding effort in the deep, it reminds me of the monkey and two cats. Look at that, look at that, look at that quality, class of Ritya Aravind. Gives me tremors, gives me shivers. How can a batter have so much time?
Well, he is a class act, isn't he? Well, they say that if you can certainly play shots like that with style and finesse, you got time in your hands, that means you are a quality batter, not just somebody who can hit the ball 6 rows back. And Ritya Aravind is a beautiful mix of both. Now he goes in front of squares, into the gap. Fielder will cut it off, they'll come back for a couple. Once again, another couple of runs. So an expensive 17 run over here by Saghir. But most importantly, he did pick up a wicket, and that to the captain of Sharjah. 49 for 1 at the end of the 4th. So there's this joke.
In comes Junaid. Junaid Shamsuddin And he's been tongued around. He's not been tongued around throughout the tournament. He's been one of the standout performers for Ajman. But not on this delivery. The class of Sharjah has been struck against Shamsuddin.
Well, that's a very, very serious shot, I'll tell you. Number one, he's taken the risk of going over the field, which is perhaps the longest boundary. That's on the offside. Well, now he goes towards the shorter side of the boundary, but fielder comes and takes a magnificent catch on the boundary ropes. Completely mistiming it on that occasion. Junaid Shamsuddin strikes and Haaland departs.
He's made a habit of bowling lovely back of the hand slower deliveries. Junaid Shamsuddin, he's been one of the biggest performers of Ajman. He's certainly carrying Ajman on his own back. Wouldn't be wrong in saying that. 6th Player of the Match awards in this tournament. And now he gets the first wicket for himself, the second wicket for Ajman. Sharjah are 2 wickets down for 53.
Well, new batter is the stylish and the hard-hitting Little Jumbo, Rais Ahmed at number 4. Well, the moment you feel that you can get a bit of respite, the moment you see the back of someone like Khalid Shah, Mohammad Haaland back in the dugout, well, they just keep coming over and over again, but this is another chance. A valiant effort there in the deep. Bro, who's that guy? The captain once again very agile across the turf. Almost taking a blinder. Was a tough chance. But he somehow did manage to keep the ball in play. Very good piece of fielding. He is now turning out to be a very good over from Junaid Shamsuddin. To being hit for a boundary, the first ball, he's come back quite well.
The way Arvind moves around in the crease, that is what makes him special, because he's able to generate angles which are not easily available on the first occasion. Once again, back of the hand. It's more than predictable. We do know that it's going to be the back of the hand. I'm not really sure why it's still special. Probably a little bit of extra bounce. Whatever it is, it's working for Ajman at the moment. End of the 5th over, 55 for the loss of 2.
Well, nicely bowled there by No, who's this? It's Samiullah. It's just coming into the attack. No, in fact, it's second over. Good delivery once again. Just keeping it nice and tight around that 4th stump line. So the last couple of overs, things have been slightly quiet. And to take us through to the last 5 overs of this innings, I've been joined by Rizwanur Rahman. Rizwan, welcome to the Combox.
Thank you very much, Teek Nizam. Arvind, yet again in the run scoring, scored 34 of 19 deliveries. Rais Ahmed will have to come to the party. Remember, it's the final game for Sharjah, and the result will decide who will take which position. At the moment, they're currently placed at number 3. Happy to feed strike to Ritya Arvind, and why not? Ajman will have to win this contest. They need to win this contest to stay in the hunt. Samiullah, as rightly mentioned by Pranav, that action of Mujibur Rahman probably hails from Afghanistan, maybe seeing for the first time. And I think he's done well up against some quality batters of Ritya's caliber and Khalid Shah. He's kept runs at bay, just given away 11 runs so far. They've kept him under close curtains, and they've suddenly opened up. Samiullah, we've not seen him play earlier on. They've come up with a plan, Team Ajman, to win this contest. Singles won't hurt. It's been a brilliant over from Samiullah. Gave away 12 runs in the shortest format. Quite impressive. Immaculate. 6 overs gone, 60 for 2. Opted to go with the power play. Zishan Nasir immediately has been deputed to bowl. Match officials Imran Munir and Kashif Villa. Rais Ahmed will have to expedite from here on, looking at the field for Ritya Arvind. He's got deep backward point and deep square leg outside the 30-yard circle. Oh, he's pumped it towards the covers for a boundary. The sound of the bat said it all.
That ball went to the boundary like a bullet. Rate of knots there. What a shot that was. There was literally maybe a millisecond, maybe perhaps less than a second from the moment it left Ritya Arvind's bat until the moment it reached the boundary. That's how fiercely it was pounced on. Ritya Arvind, he does look like he's in some serious form here. 39 of 22 balls. Losing his shape there on that occasion. Fielder in the deep will cut it off, and mind you, that side is one of the shortest boundary ropes. Ritya Arvind caught napping. Well, he's just been woken up.
He read that slow one pretty well. Ritya Arvind picked up a boundary and then quicker one from Zishan Nasir. He was definitely anticipating that. This is a very good clash. Two top-notch sides locking horns, and a must-win game for Team Ajman. Swing and a miss. Beaten for pace on that occasion. But he was bowling in that fourth stump channel, and he was trying to fetch it from the offside towards the onside. Not sure if that's the right approach. You might as well try to time it rather than muscling it.
Well, we've already seen him do it masterfully, Ritya Arvind. Sometimes when you are blessed with that kind of hands and wrists, why not make use of it? You do not have to smash it out of the park. That's in the air, mistimed it, but what a take! What a magnificent catch that was! That was Adnan ul Mulk for you! The captain leading from the front, and he's literally plucked that ball out of thin air. Here is one.
Well, I have absolutely no words to describe. That was a one-hand stunner. Oh my goodness gracious me. That is one of the best catches of the tournament. Adnan ul Mulk That perfect jump at the right time gets the better of Rais Ahmed. And look at that celebration.
Well, you needed something special to dismiss someone of the caliber of Rais Ahmed. And Adnan ul Mulk provided right at the back end of the tournament. Perhaps one of the best catchers that you will ever see in this Emirates D10. And in the process, Rais Ahmed walks back to the dugout and rather cheaply. It's 65 for 3.
Goes without saying that the men in purple have come with intent, with an intent to win this contest. And you can see the body language. You can see how agile they are. You can see they're fighting tooth and nail. Good delivery. Absolutely brilliant. Keshav Sharma walks in at number 5. The left hand, right hand combination. And you can see that smiles all over.
Well, certainly, that was a magnificent delivery. This is turning out to be a brilliant over by Zishan Nasir, and what a spell. Look at that, 1 for 8 in a 1.5 overs. When you're up against the likes of someone like Ritya Aravind, you know that you've done brilliantly. Zishan Nasir's spell comes to an end. Ajman will certainly be quite happy with where they find themselves. 66 for 3 at the end of the 7th.
Just when you saw Ritya Arvind exploding in the power play, Ajman have managed to bounce back in the game. They managed to put a lid on the scoring. And now this will be an interesting contest up against Junaid Shamshu. Ritya Arvind will go all out. Well, that is the catch for you. One hand stunner. Perfectly jumped. Adnan ul Mulk will be mighty pleased with the effort as a skipper that is put in. And look at that celebration. Walks down the surface but straight to the fielder. Junaid Shamshu yet again bowling those slower cutters. Well, you know he's going to be bowling those slower cutters. What would be your plan of action up against Junaid Shamshu to get maximum out of him?
Well, you just got to make sure that you pick your spot early on, isn't it? You got to make sure that you are aware about the field setup that's in place. So you will be able to recognize the line and length in which he's going to go about it. And in this occasion, you see that he's got a long off in place for the left-hander and a sweeper cover. So you know that it's going to be just outside the off stump. So with those slower balls, you just have to make sure that you get your placement right.
Well, that will be a wide. I tell you what, Atik, the entire team of Abu Dhabi will be glued to the television. They're watching this live telecast. Ali Abid, Akifullah Raja, the entire team, Luqman Faisal, they certainly would want to be a part of the semi-finals.
Well, it's all to play for, isn't it? It all comes down to these two games, especially this one. This game of Ajman and Sharjah. This is going to be a very, very crucial game under the circumstances. And not only for these two teams, but also for Abu Dhabi, who's been waiting in the wings, watching very intently and closely. Not exactly sure what they are checking at. But, well, I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Any idea here, is one?
I'm a bit perplexed. Is it, were they trying to check if Rithya has hit the stumps? 5 runs have been given.
5 runs being given to the batting team. I mean, I did see there's a helmet being placed behind. By any chance, while he was collecting the ball, was he in touch with the ball, with the helmet, or was it fake fielding? Well, now he's got a bottom edge. That ball's gonna run away to the boundary for 4. Well, it was mightily close to that helmet again behind for another additional 5. Look at that. Well, that's a boundary down towards fine leg.
Fielder in position there. It has been a good over from Junaid Shamsud. They scamper through for a couple of runs.
So we've got some clarifications with regards to those 5 extras that's been given, and according to the rule book, the wicket keeper had removed one glove off and had kept it on the ground. And while the glove was on the floor, the ball hit the piece of the equipment which was not connected to the body. So in the process, that is according to the rule, 5 runs were gifted to the team. 5 penalties indeed. So 17 runs, in fact 18 runs of Junaid Shamsuddin's spell, and a wicket as well. 8 done, it's 82 for 3.
Here will bowl his second over, gave away 17 runs. Innovation. And the ball will find the fence. Rithya Arvind picks up his half century. He's in sublime form, to say the least.
Well, they say that you certainly need the man who is a match winner, is the one who certainly turns up on the day when you need it the most. And Rithya Aravind has done that day in, day out throughout this tournament for Sharjah. And once again, he's doing it again tonight. Beautiful delivery there by Saghir Khan.
Just to add, for the 5 penalty runs, if a wicketkeeper's gloves have been abandoned or dropped on the ground and the ball in play hits them, a 5-run penalty is awarded to the batting side. This is covered under Law 28.2 as per the MCC's laws of cricket. Good job done by the umpires, the TV umpire. Full toss. Is it good enough? No, it is, but it has been put down. It has been grasped. And a couple of runs have been taken.
Well, I can see Adnan ul Mulk at long off giving a serious tear at the fielder. Yes, that was a very, very good effort. But with the kind of standards Adnan ul Mulk has set in this game, he'd expect his team to do the same. 88 for 3. Oh, beautifully bowled. Sagir Khan drawing in all his experience. And he's been tremendous today. Yes, very unlucky. He did get a few streaky boundaries off his bat behind the wicket keeper. But yeah, well, he's come back quite well after giving away that boundary early on.
Straight down the ground. Another brilliant effort by Adnan ul Mulk. And that one, the 5 penalty runs was spotted by umpire Imran Munir. Well, he's absolutely a brilliant umpire to have around. He's spot on with his decisions. And when you get carried away with the game, he is one such umpire who's absolutely spot on. Low full toss. Will this be taken this time? Fall short of the fielder. Shahrukh, come in, is it? He does well, but just could not get to the reach of the ball. That will bring us to the end of over number 9. 92 for 3.
Well, in all honesty, I'll tell you, Rizwan, Sharjah 92 for 3 with 9 at the end of the 9th over, with Ritya Arvind still out there in the middle. I seriously feel that he's done a brilliant job here. In fact, Ajman has done a brilliant job. Sharjah, more often than not, have always targeted a score of above 120, 130, especially when they're on song. But to keep them down to 93 for 3, the start of the 10th over, they've certainly done a brilliant job.
Do you reckon the pitch is holding up a little bit? The ball is not certainly coming onto the bat as it was in the previous games. Talking about yesterday and day before yesterday. Sabir Ali starting off with a wide and 1 for the over. Big heave towards the onside. Anstanden does well. Now this will be interesting. Ritya Arvind, final 5 deliveries. 6 to get to the magical figure of 100.
Well, he'll want to get going, isn't it? 94 for 3. Well, there we go. Umpire Imran Munir. Like you did mention, Rizwan, early on, it's so hard to pick up those little things, especially when you're in the heat of the moment. But umpire Imran Munir, one of the ICC panel umpires, very experienced and he's somebody who's been always spot on. And what a gentleman. And let alone being on the field, even off the field as well, someone who's extremely well spoken of, somebody who's extremely kind. And look at that for a stroke. Magnificent shot there by Ritya Arvind. And to add to the salt wounds of the bowler, it's a boundary as well. And a no ball.
Well, he has manufactured that shot out of nowhere. And the patent rights will go to Ritya Arvind for that shot. Shuffled and shuffled to perfection. Free hit on offer.
Well, it's all happening out there, isn't it? There are penalty runs being given, batters moving across to the crease, front foot no ball, add to it. How many things do umpires have to focus on in today's game, isn't it? Well, free hit, not proving to be costly on that occasion. And that's again another point. What I wanted to stress here is the fact that if you look at why I think that was one of a moment of brilliance there by umpire Imran Munir, was as an umpire, you keep a track of a lot of things like where the bowler's foot is landing, where the ball's pitching, is it in line, was there an edge, and then add to it keeping your mind on something like that, which rarely occurs, and then to pick that at the right time and call it, well, he's done a magnificent job there, umpire Imran Munir.
Shayad, the stumps, it'll just be a single. Well, absolutely. I'm pretty much optimistic and sure that they have a design template that they follow, and ensuring they keep things simple and making sure they keep a note of everything. 100 comes up for Sharjah, 3 deliveries left. Can they pick up another 10 here? Just to give that advantage of extra cushion or that contingency that we always talk about. Short delivery will find the fence. Streaky, but Keshav Sharma will accept it, so as Sharjah.
Well, I'll tell you, whatever the way the runs come by, they will certainly take it. But in all honesty, I really feel that Ajman will certainly take this, especially with Ritya Aravind off strike. Because even if Keshav Sharma manages to get a single of the next ball, it would leave Ritya Aravind just with 1 ball to face. But literally, Keshav Sharma has two free hits to his name. He's just got to go after. You need to try and up that target as much as possible. Misses out, and it's a dot ball. Can you believe it? A dot ball on the last over is equal to the weight of gold.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in the shortest format. A rare sight. I've seen 2 dot deliveries from Sabir Ali. Keshav Sharma, what is he going to do next?
Well, I'll tell you what. Going into the halfway stage, irrespective of what's going to happen on this ball, I believe Ajman will be the happier side. Will they get a couple? They'll just get a single. I think that was poor running there. They should have tried and pushed for a couple though. So Sharjah have managed to only get 105 for 3. And it's all kudos to these men in purple. They've been tremendous on the field. Especially with just 3 wickets down and Ritya Aravind carrying his bat through. I feel that Sharjah are about 15 runs short here is one.
Yeah, Ajman will be mighty pleased with the effort that they've put in. But I tell you what, yes, they just could not propel to close to 115, 120. But I think it's to do with the surface as well. When you have batters like Khalid Shah, Rais Ahmed clearly struggling out at the centre. That's the highlights package for you, starting off the proceedings as usual, where Ritya Aravind and Khalid Shah. Beautiful delivery first up from Zishan Nasir, and ever since then, Khalid Shah, I beg your pardon, Ritya Aravind was scoring runs to all corners of the park quite comfortably. He took that responsibility and ownership. Samullah was thumbed towards the covers. A good catch from Zishan Nasir to get the better of Khalid Shah. Alan found the fence. Then it was Ritya Aravind show. He continued to score runs. Alan at number 3 was caught out in the deep. Good catch in the end by Rahil Ali. Then Zishan Nasir in the power play, floating power play. This was the moment. Absolutely stunning and magnificent. And look at that celebration. Junaid Shamshu inside, edge streaky one, found the fence. Innovation, fabricating and manufacturing those shots quite comfortably was Ritya Aravind. Keshav Sharma, that was streaky, but they did take that. That was the half century for Ritya Aravind. Right, then we will dive into a short break and we'll have the second innings after the break.
Well, good evening. Welcome back. We're here for the run chase. 106 runs required for victory for Ajman to secure themselves a spot in the semi-finals tomorrow. This is what transpired with the bat for Sharjah. Ritya Aravind right at the top, carrying his bat through 63 of 36 balls. And the second highest run scorer in the Sharjah batting was the extras. 14 extras, not helping their cause. Well, this has what been the Sharjah's Achilles heel, so to say the least. And I believe they're about 15 runs short. Ajman, well, they've all to play for here. With the bowling, Zishan Nasir 1 for 19 of his 2 overs. Muhammad Saghir Khan 1 for 27. But pick of the bowlers, obviously the most economical. And also do picking up because it was Junaid Shamsuddin 1 for 18 of his 2 overs, going at an economy rate of 9 runs and over. Well, it's been a very, very good performance. Abir Ali and Samiullah Sami, in fact, the most economical, but going wicketless. Nevertheless, Ajman, well, the equation is simple. You win and you through. You lose and it's going to be Abu Dhabi. So this is going to be a very, very interesting context. 106 required for victory. And to speak further into the game, I've just been joined here in the comm box. Pranav Mehta. Pranav, exciting 1 hour coming up here. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Team Ajman or is it going to be Team Abu Dhabi?
I have a bigger point to prove than Ajman or Abu Dhabi. I really want to see the character of Sharjah. We did mention that Sharjah and Dubai are the 2 favorites of this tournament to be going into the finale with the way they have performed through the league stage. But my question is going to be even more stronger. How does Sharjah look at this game against Ajman? Because if they deserve to be in the finale, they're going to showcase what they're made up of in this game against Ajman. And that is when, walking into the finale, they will be full of confidence. Walking into the knockouts as well, in the semi-finals as well. And that's what you want from a champion side.
Well, certainly, you've got to be at your brutal best. You need that momentum in your side. Doesn't matter. I know Sharjah has already secured themselves a spot in the semi-finals. But they want to carry that winning streak. Wasim Akram starts off just wide away from his reach. Well, and I just feel that Wasim Akram did not give it his 100% there, wasn't it? Maybe was it the boot?
Watch out, watch out. I think Shamsuddin has fallen short. Or is it Adnan ul Mulk? Watch out, watch out. There is a direct hit. I think it's a goner. It's going to be touch and go. Oh, it's a goner. It's a goner. The captain is going to be walking back to the dugout on the very first delivery. Big moment in this game. Sharjah picks up a wicket on the very first delivery.
Well, disaster has struck here for Ajman. Their informed batter, Junaid Shamsuddin. In fact, it is the captain, Adnan ul Mulk, who's got to walk back to the dugout. Well, this is a massive moment. Sharjah once again starting off brilliantly. There was a catch opportunity there, but it does not matter because Adnan ul Mulk has to walk back to the dugout.
This is what rubbing salt on the wound means. There was a direct hit when there was 1 wicket that was visible. And now, replying back, Sharjah, 1 wicket visible. And the captain is going to be sent back to the dugout. What a moment in this game. 1 wicket down on the very first delivery without any runs on the board.
Well, exactly what the doctor ordered, wasn't it? Let's have a look at that replay again. A bouncer, yes, was just beyond his reach. And then look at that. Was that Ayan Khan? Yes, it was Ayan Khan. Here we go. Second ball. Starts off with a good delivery, but that was pitched outside the leg stump. Umpire Imran Munir, he doesn't get too many wrong.
At the pitch report, I did mention that there is overcast conditions. That means that chances of dew minimizes. And I feel that the dew has stayed away, and that is the reason there is a little bit happening with the wicket. Shot making hasn't got easy. There is a little bit of movement from the deck. There is swing in the air. There is swing off the surface as well. And that's where this score, 105, is a good score on the board.
Well, it is a very, very interesting period of play coming up. Well, that's going to be a boundary. Well, poor delivery there by Wasim Akram. You've got the opposition on the back foot, picking up a wicket off the very first ball. And this one was slipped down the leg. Easy pickings for a batter on the class of Junaid Shamsuddin.
I've heard great stories about Wasim Akram. Really want to see his actual potential, his actual talent. I've been hearing about the fact that Wasim Akram is not bowling at his 100% peak because it's just the group stages. But now we are moving towards the business and want to see what Wasim Akram is actually made up of. Right in the block hole. He means business. Everybody means business here at the Sharjah cricket. It is the stadium, but almost feels like an academy because young talents are being groomed here.
He's heard you, Pranav. He's heard you. And he certainly takes that personally because that is a glimpse of the Wasim Akram brutal best. That in-swinging Yorker. But in fact, that was very, very safely negotiated there by Junaid Shamsuddin, who's been in very good form. Now it's going to be Saghir Khan who's on strike. Good delivery once again, hurrying the batter. Well, once again, it's good to see that Wasim Akram generating that extra bit of pace. Coming up after that injury, well, seems like he's slowly finding his old self here.
What I really want to see is a lethal bouncer. That is something that I have not seen throughout the tournament. Yes, a few bouncers, but not a lethal bouncer. Something that was in comparison to the one which Wasim Akram, the senior Wasim Akram, the real Wasim Akram used to bowl. Something that struck Sachin Tendulkar. Full toss, straight to backward point. It's going to be finishing with a dot ball. End of the first over. 5 on the board for the loss of 1. Ajman. Still into the power play. Ayan Khan is going to be bowling this over. He threw the line straight to the fielder. Holds on to it. There is a little bit of turn. They are animated. They are inspired. They are spirited. They're full of life here. Sharjah means business here. And at the moment, Ajman are not in the contest.
Well, loose shot there. Getting the toe end of the bat. And the captain, Khalid Shah, he does not drop too many. Look at them, absolutely pumped. A big wicket, both openers back in the dugout. Ajman in all sorts of trouble now, 5 for 2.
A wicket of the very, very first delivery. Ayan Khan means business. I love this form of cricket. When the cricketers are putting everything on the line, there is a little bit of turn because it is overcast condition. That means that the dew has stayed away. There is a little bit in the surface for the bowlers. It has been a batting paradise all through the week. Right now, the batters are going to be tested onto their quality. Who do you think is going to come to the party for Ajman? We've seen the quality of Ritya Arvind with the bat in difficult conditions.
Well, certainly. Well, this in the air. That's hit over. Beautifully played there by Saghir Khan. What a way to get off the mark. Third ball. And he's tongued that over the field.
What a shot. What an incredible shot. It was the arm ball from Ayan Khan. Read it and read it well. I think on a wicket like this, you want to turn the delivery. Long on and deep mid-wicket. Hit straight through the line. What an incredible shot coming from the bat of Saghir Khan. Will be tongued for a maximum. Ayan Khan is not really sure about what's happening here. Back of length and tongued really well. Clean strike coming from the bat of Saghir Khan. Incredible cricket at the moment. No answer whatsoever from Ayan Khan. Let's not forget that Ayan has got a wicket on the very first delivery that he bowled, and it's the big wicket of Junaid Shamsuddin. They need a wicket more in the power play. Does Ayan have it in himself? Big player. Big shot. Inside out. Oh, made a mess of it. Made a complete mess of it. Saghir will be more than happy to be picking up another boundary for himself. At the moment, Ajman have fought back and fought back in style. Poor cricket from Ayan Khan at the moment. Needs to make sure that he would have given a single to Saghir Khan. Oh my goodness gracious me! It's a brain-fade moment for Saghir. Look at that celebration. Look at what it means for Ayan Khan. A wicket of the first delivery, a wicket of the final delivery. Saghir Khan was going after him. And that is when, beating the outside edge, he's picked up the big wicket. Ayan Khan is a warrior. He means business. He's given the punch to the Sharjah team.
Well, picking up wickets in regular intervals here. Saghir Khan has to depart. 3 big fish back in the dugout. Well, we all know the damage that Saghir Khan can cause. Ajman stuttering now. 3 wickets down. 20 runs on the board. It's 20 for 3.
Very big movement in this game. Ayan Khan has picked up 2 wickets in an over. Ajman are in serious trouble. They've opted to go for the floating power play. Talk us through it. Atiq, what does it mean? 3 wickets down. 2 new batters in the middle. Ansh and Shahrukh, they've gone for the floating power play. Doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what's running in their minds here, isn't it? Why would you take a floating power play in the third over when you've got two new batters in the crease. Well, the only way that I can perhaps decode that, Pranav, is that these two batters they've got free hits from the dressing room to go after the bowling. They need runs and they want to make sure if they can find at least 15-20 runs here inside these 2 overs, that would carry the momentum through where the batters to come after can try and go after the bowling. But however, this particular tactic by Ajman, well, very surprising to say the least. Well, that's cracked through the covers. Fielder not able to catch it. Great timing there by Ansh Tandon. Well, I'll tell you, he's one of the most talented young players that you'll find here in the UAE circuit. Ansh Tandon. Well, that's a terrific hit there, Pranav.
What an incredible strike. Just opening the face of the bat and making sure that it's powerfully struck in the outfield. Big moment in this game. 25 for the loss of 3. Ajman are chasing 106 to win. Just into the third over. It's a big moment. It's a big moment. Ansh Tandon is cutting loose. He's cutting loose very freely.
Well, 2 terrific hits through the offside. He's looking extremely good out there, isn't he now, Ansh Tandon? Well, now I'd say that the floating power play, they're making use of it. 29 for 3 are Ajman in pursuit of 106 for victory to secure themselves a spot in the Final 4 tomorrow. In this Emirates D10 2026, it's all happening out there. Short ball pulled in front of square. Fielder is not able to catch it. That's 3 boundaries on the trot. Ansh Tandon is turning the heat on here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. And they are making full use of the floating power play.
Fighting fire with fire at the moment. Ansh Tandon, he's lost 3 partners. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whatsoever. Believes in his quality. Believes in his character. He's making hay while the sun shines. Ansh Tandon is making it look all so easy. Just like how Ritya Arvind was batting. It all looked as if it was just a cakewalk. They're celebrating. Not out, says the umpire.
Well, Ritya Arvind, he's a character, isn't he? Well, just trying to, tease the batter. Umpire Imran Munir, he's somebody who's very well experienced and he's not gonna fall for it. Muhammad Ali, well, he's gone for 13 runs of the first 4 balls of his over. And he's bowled him! He's bowled him! What a delivery that was! Goodness gracious, Ansh Tandon, after scoring those 3 terrific boundaries, playing across the line, ball staying low and being castled. 4th one down now here for Ajman.
Every time you talk about brain fade movement, you will talk about Steve Smith and you will talk about Ansh Tandon. Just when he got the team back right on track, Ansh Tandon has a brain fade movement, tries to play 1 shot too many, and Ansh Tandon is going to be walking back to the dugout, devastated, distraught. 13 of 6 deliveries, doesn't matter. He's put his team in a situation of misery. 4th wicket down for Ajman, chasing 106 to win. They are in some serious bother at the moment. What a spell. Sharjah is bowling at the moment. Everybody who comes into the attack is picking on wickets, and that is putting Ajman in some serious trouble. This has gone up in the air. It'll just go past the fielder at mid-off. It will get to the boundary as well. Fire continues between Ajman and Sharjah. It's attack on attack. 17 runs from that over of Muhammad Ali. And the wicket of Ansh Tandon. 3 overs done, 37 for the loss of 4. Wasim Akram, he's going to be continuing. Why not? Sharjah wants to destroy Ajman. They really don't want Ajman continuing. With the way Sharjah has fought in this game, I really feel Sharjah doesn't like Ajman. Tell me about the road traffics. Is that the reason?
Well, that can be one of the reasons because Ajman is way ahead on the opposite direction from Abu Dhabi. But there's one team that I'll tell you that will be dancing in the aisles in their own houses are the team Abu Dhabi mates. They'll be absolutely thrilled with what's taking place out here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Ajman now 38 for 4. Run rate not a problem, but it is the wickets column. Just tucked down towards the fine leg region for a single. Ayan Khan cutting it out. Well, Pranav, when you find yourselves in such a situation, what do you do as a batter? Are you going to take a couple of overs or are you going to hit your way out of trouble?
Calculative cricket, 10 runs per over. That is what is required. You need to just hit 1, 6, 1, 4 and play the rest as dot balls. Oh, jokes apart, you just have to be calculative. You have to choose your battles.
Well, down the leg side. Well, that's exactly what I was coming to say here as well, Pranav. You get a boundary of one of the balls in the over and then you can get 5 singles that would make it around 9 runs and over, which would keep you abreast of the required run rate. That's how you take the minimum amount of risk and try and maximize your score over the next 2-3 overs without taking undue risk. And that's where you said the calculative approach comes into play.
What I understand of Sharjah is that they're looking to pick up wickets. That's why Wasim Akram has come in to bowl this over. That's the only reason, and the last thing that Ajman want to do is give a wicket to Wasim Akram.
Well, he's slightly been off colour today, Wasim Akram. Well, we saw yesterday he was at his brutal best, wasn't it? Picking up the 2 wickets of the first over, especially one with that brilliant in-swinger into the right-hander, which he so oftenly does. Wasim Akram, after the famous, the great Wasim Akram named, well, that's wide outside the off stump, knocked down towards a sweeper cover for a single.
I'll tell you something that no fast bowler will disagree to. In my keeping days, if I was keeping to a fast bowler somewhere around 15 to 70 yards away from the wickets, that bowler would be really upset with me. They would want me standing 25 yards away from the wickets. That is when people standing outside, people watching the game of cricket, could be selectors, would have a good impression of the fast bowler. At the moment, if you see Ritya Arvind, he's standing at 15 yards from the stumps to the pace of Wasim Akram. And that is not great news for Wasim Akram. Because if that is all that you're contributing, it's not good enough. On this occasion, Aftab gets a boundary to third.
Well, nicely played once again, using the pace of the bowler, not trying to hit the ball too hard. Aftab Javed, he is a very, very good player. Onus will be on him and Shahrukh coming to see the team through. Well, with especially on a format like this, Pranav, say all you need is a one good partnership. Can Aftab Javed and Shahrukh Amin provide this for their team? Help them to get over the line, help secure themselves a spot in the semi-finals. 41 games, and yet we do not have the 4th place finalized. Well, there we go. That was a wide. He heard you again, Pranav. Tried to go for that bouncer, but that was a bit too much perhaps, and brings the 50 up in the process.
I'm not really talking about the bouncer. I'm talking about bending your back hard, hitting the surface hard, making the ball carry all the way till the 25 yards. No delivery should be collected by the wicketkeeper under his waist. It should all be fingers pointing towards the sky, and that's when you're a good quality, genuine fast bowler. The pace at which Wasim Akram is bowling right now does not impress me. I might be harsh, a lot of people might disagree with me, but this is just over a little bit of gentle medium pace. Look at where Ritya Arvind is collecting it from. 4 overs done, 50 on the board for the loss of 4. Ajman. Wali. Full and flicked on the leg side. Will be a single. What is going to happen, Atiq, is that every fast bowler bowling, you won't look at the way the batter is playing. You will start looking at the wicket keeper, because that tells you a story.
Well, it certainly does. There is this very interesting story of, I believe it was Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, who used to have this brilliant slower ball. And he had this sign to MS Dhoni that he used to give just before delivering that slower ball, where MS Dhoni comes a couple of yards up as well, just to, make sure if there was an edge to take that. Oh, beautiful delivery. Look at that. Wali Muhammad just angling that ball away from the right hand on that occasion. 55 required of 34 deliveries. Required run rate not so threatening at this stage, just below 9.8 runs and over. Shahrukh Amin, Aftab Javed, well, they'll need to make sure that they get a partnership on here.
Really want to see one of the fast bowlers pushing Ritya Arvind closer to the circle. Tell me about it, Atiq. Do you have any bowler that can push the wicketkeeper closer to the circle?
Well, the only person that I can clearly remember was Shoaib Akhtar. When he was at his peak, Rashid Latif used to literally stand at the edge of the 30-yard circle.
Behind the 30-yard circle, as a matter of fact, 35 to 40 yards away from the stumps, that was the pace of Shoaib Akhtar. I'm not talking about matching the pace of Shoaib Akhtar, but I'm just talking about pushing the wicketkeeper closer to the circle. Because at the moment, Ritya Arvind is almost 15 to 20 meters away. Poor backup, poor fielding. Extremely ordinary. They're animated in the dugout. We can hear the noise of the Ajman team all the way to the comm box. Ritya Arvind is not very impressed. Disappointed, very, very disappointed with the way things are being managed in the middle. He's done everything to get his side to 105 rather. Look at that poor piece of backup. Not putting the body behind the ball. And that's where extra free 2 runs. Wali. Right in the block hole, and it's going to be drilled in the deep for a single. .56 on the board, 4.5, 4 wickets down. Such an important partnership this has been. Not a lot of runs, but they've stitched the pressure together.
Well, the second half will be extremely crucial. 56 for 4. 50 required. You'll need to bring in some spin as well. Try and slow the game. Not give Ajman the pace that they're looking for. Last ball of the 5th over. Chipped down into the gap. But once again, I think had they taken that first run harder, they could have tried and pushed for a second. But this is a very, very good over from Wali. He's just given away 7 runs off his first over. At the halfway stage, Ajman 57 for 4. Another 49 required of 30 deliveries. A good one.
In comes Race. And just with that, we have the voice of Yohi along with me. How are you doing, bro? Chilly evening. You have stayed away.
Well, it certainly has. Rais Ahmed into the attack. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fasten your seatbelt. Seatbelts, we are in for a roller coaster ride. 49 required. 48 now of 29 deliveries. It's a wicket that Sharjah would be desperately looking for. But both the batters quite matured in their approach. Aftab and Shahrukh Amin. We've seen Shahrukh Amin playing that second fiddle. stitching that partnership and getting their team over the line. Required run rate very much within the reach. Just that gentle push towards the fine leg. It'll just be a single. So I tell you what, Pranav, this is going to go down till the wire.
I really feel otherwise, because at the moment, if these two stay together for another 3 overs, the game is done and dusted for Sharjah. They need a wicket, and they need a wicket as of yesterday. And with those kind of deliveries, they're not going to be picking up wickets.
Rais, every time you've given him that responsibility, I would say 7 out of 10 times he's delivered. There is an opportunity created straight away and straight into the hands of the fielder, who makes absolutely no mistake. Shah Rukh Amin departs.
7 out of 10, make it 17 out of 10. He certainly delivered a big blow. Ajman was looking so comfortable, so good in the middle. Talk about brain fade movement. They just keep continuing for Ajman, one after another. Ansh Tandon on the previous occasion. This time it is Shah Rukh. 12 of 9 deliveries as the 5th wicket falls for Ajman.
Moment in the game. Salman Shahid walks out to the center. Faiz Ahmed, well, he's picked up another wicket here. Well, they love that pace on offer, and Khalid Shah, with his peripheral vision, has decided to go with the spin option. And straight away, I tell you what, Faiz Ahmed has delivered. Salman Shahid, men in yellow are glued to the television. It's all happening at the Sharjah International Stadium. Leading edge will be safe. That was a right move from the fielder. Didn't go for the throw. They did not have a backup in there. You'll have to secure every single run, Pranav.
It's not going to be easy. Certainly not going to be easy. Just in the previous over, the required run rate had fallen below 10 runs per over. A brilliant over from Rais makes sure that it goes past 10, almost touching 11 and a half, and that's where it's trouble times for Ajman. 6 overs done, 61 for the loss of 5.
Six overs, 61 for 5. In comes the wonder boy, Ayan Afzal Khan. Picked up 2 wickets, but yes, he was hammered for 15 runs, but brought those 2 wickets to the table. Into the attack. Gentle push will land safely. I tell you what, Pranav. Aftab holds the key for Ajman, and Salman Shahid does bat. He tends to bat at the top order. He's been deputed with that middle order responsibility. Still, they will fancy their chances in chasing this total down.
The problem is that the floating power play is no more available. It's already been spent. And that's why, with no due playing a big role, chasing is not going to be very easy. Lovely piece of wicket keeping. He's a live wire, Rithi Arvind.
Well, you can see that the effort that's been put in, the intent, he wants to save every single run. It's a complete unit. They do not have the services of Haider Razak today. And Ayan Afzal Khan, this is going to be a crucial moment in the game. He has to stay away from the hitting arc of Mohammad Aftab. 2 wickets already for him. And a misfield will just be a single. Swipe across the line on that occasion.
This is not going to be easy. 43 required in 3.4. The required run rate touching 12. Every dot ball, every single is going to be putting on pressure on the batting side.
Well, the approach was right. Despite losing those wickets, they didn't hunker down a bit. They went with the flow as the required run rate was there. There it is. The Wonder Boy delivers one more time. Salman Shahid will have to head back.
What a moment, big moment in this game. Dancing down the track, and Ritya Arvind has fast hands. He's very much spot on behind the stumps. It was the arm ball from Ayan Khan. 6th wicket falls for Ajman. It's a must win for them, and they're faltering under pressure at the moment. Salman walks back for 2 of 4 deliveries. 64 for the loss of 6.
Rahil Ali walks out to the center. The youngster will be under pressure. But a great opportunity for him to get his team over the line. Well, I still believe as long as Aftab and Rahil are out there, they will still fancy the chances. That's the wicket for you. Trying to walk down the surface, and Ritya Arvind makes absolutely no mistake. 7 gone. It's 65 for 6. Rais Ahmed into the attack. He's given away 4 runs, Pranav. 3 overs left, 41 required, and he's picked up a wicket too. Straight away, going with the switch hit. It'll just be a single.
If you're looking for a high intensity contest before you get into the knockouts, this is the exact game that you would have been looking for. The kind of intensity that was provided by Ajman in the first innings, and now the team in black and red, Sharjah, a little bit of a misfield. Yes, it does happen in this game of cricket. Pressure can pile on you.
Absolutely. Well, it's the weekend. Forget about heading to the mall, offer some outings, doing some barbecue, head to the Sharjah Stadium. We have another crackerjack of a contest lined up for you where Emirates Blues will be taking on Dubai. That will be interesting to watch for. At the moment, it's 13.5 runs required per over. And Aftab holds the key. Aftab walks down the surface. Will it be a boundary? Great effort, but Ibrahim Masood cannot hold on to it. Well, it's all happening, Pranav.
Really difficult to take sides here. Because in a moment, it is Ajman who become favourites. The very next moment, Sharjah fight back and become the favourites. It's a roller coaster ride. It's a seesaw at the moment. Unbelievable scenes here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Black versus purple. Looking for 2. Immediate call is for 2. And it will result in a boundary. Faltering under pressure. This is what pressure can do. It can make the best leak.
And that should have been stopped. Absolutely right. It's the pressure that is mounting onto the fielders of Sharjah. Rais is dejected. Quite exasperating for him. Well, what a way Ajman has bounced back. 13 runs of it. No less than a Bollywood blockbuster. I can tell you that for sure.
If you're a heart patient, you stay away from TV. Thrillers on offer, and that's exactly what it is. Dot ball mix up. It's all happening here.
It all started here and it's all happening here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. 28 required of 13 deliveries. Here goes Ariel. Good fielding in the deep by Khalid Shah. Aftab will retain strike. Good sign for Ajman. 8 overs gone, 79 for 6.
They've got 14 runs from the previous over. Look at that required run rate. Hovering around 14. That's exactly what they need. They've got that from the 8th over. It's going to be the penultimate over. Wali has conceded 7 runs in that first over of his.
Stand and deliver. Aftab, you beauty. Well, this is where I was little skeptical about getting Wali Muhammad. He's not an experienced campaigner, number one. Haider Razak, the experienced campaigner, missing out. And Aftab cashes on the full toss provided.
It still had to be put away. And under pressure, we've seen the best who can falter. And that is where it was such a good shot from the bat of Aftab. Inside out, over covers. Not looking to hit it hard, and that's where it was special. Square leg comes inside the circle. As the evening progresses, dew will come into play. The winds will stop, and as the winds stop, dew will pile on. Full toss. Big maximum. 10 of the first 2. Pressure on Wali now.
Well, he's considered as a match winner, and yet again Aftab is delivering. Under pressure, full toss, trying to bowl that off cutter, the slow one, the back of hand delivery, and feeding a full toss to a batter of Aftab's caliber, and is deposited that into the stands. And all of a sudden, the required rate looks very much within the reach. Aftab, what a night he's had.
Don't look at the required run rate. The calculations are pretty much straight on. 10 balls, 17 runs. 9 out of 10 times, if you have 4 wickets in hand, it should be done. Sharjah is looking for that 1 out of 10 occasions. They want a special moment. But with Wali bowling those full tosses, it's not helping the cause. Can he get his length right? Can he get the block hole? Can he bowl a little smarter here?
A wicket. Wicket is the only way they can bounce back into the game. 17 required of 10 deliveries. Mohammad Aftab, 38 of 18. Another full toss. That will be a no ball. Khalid Shah does well and it will be a free hit, adding salt to the wounds. This is absolutely unbelievable. Wali succumbing to the pressure.
Wonder what is he doing here? Just not able to find his line and length. But talking about Ajman, fantastic running between the wickets, not taking anything for granted, especially Rahil, making sure that he pushed Aftab for the second, getting him back on strike for the free hit. What does Wali have to offer here? It's been an expensive over, 13 runs from this over. It's just 2 deliveries that have been bowled. This is a free hit. Gets the length right on this occasion. It's going to be just a single.
He's kept his calm. Cool as cucumber, Aftab. And credit must be given to Shahrukh Amin as well, alongside Rahil Ali, who's absolutely chilled out at the moment. You can see the expression on their faces, not really too worried. They know this is a target that can be chased down. And backing themselves, it's the grit, it's the determination, it's that self-belief that you can deliver. Mohammad Aftab, he's been brilliant. Goes aerial. And a wonderful catch. Ayan Afzal Khan, the wonder boy, picks up a stunner.
Look at those reactions of Ayan Afzal Khan. He certainly means business. What a moment in this game. Similar to the visuals of the captain of Ajman. He took a blinder of a catch in the first innings. Ayan repeats it in the second innings. Rahil is out for 2 of 3 deliveries. 7th wicket down. The game is not over till it's over. Timely wicket to bring Sharjah back into the contest. Sabir Ali. Oh, this has gone high up in the air. Fielder has an ability to get underneath it. Fielder holds on to it. It's a fantastic catch under pressure. I think it is the captain Khalid Shah who was under it.
What are we witnessing here at the Sharjah Stadium? That was a brilliant catch. Wicket number 8, straight away into the action was Sabir Ali. It went miles up in the air. Khalid Shah holds on to it. 2 wickets back to back. As Ajman lose wicket number 8.
Unbelievable scenes. Sabir Ali out on the very first delivery. It's a golden duck for him. What are we witnessing here? Almost goosebumps. Absolute blunder to start this over of Wali. And from there, what a moment he's made for himself. First that catch of Rahil. And then the catch by Khalid Shah. It will be winded up with a dot ball. What do we need in the final over? 13 required of the final over. Can they get there? They have 2 wickets in hand. It'll all be up to Aftab.
Well, the skipper has rolled the dice and is opted to go with Ali, who's given away 17 runs in the first over and has picked up a wicket too. The good thing for Ajman is they have Aftab on strike, who's scored 41 runs of 20 deliveries. Samiullah is at the non-strikers, 13 required, packed offside field, deep square leg, mid-wicket, long on, long off, sweeper cover outside the 30-yard circle. The idea will be to bowl the off-stump channel. Right then, final over underway. Swing and a miss. Ritya misses it. Aftab says, let me take this responsibility.
This is where it's not going to be easy. He's bowling from the far end. That means that he's got to hit in the bigger boundary. And that's where it's not going to be easy. He's a strong lad. Ali is going to be bowling those slower deliveries. And that's where Aftab is going to have a tough time.
Good delivery once again. Slower bumper. This is absolutely brilliant from Ali. He's not happy with the decision. One for the over.
Oh boy. Bouncer is out of the equation now. It's a nail-biting thriller. 13 required of the final 4 deliveries. Aftab is still in the middle. Pulled. Heaved on the leg side. It's in the gap. Should be a boundary. Will be a boundary. He's not giving up. Aftab is still fighting a battle.
This is T10 cricket at its best. 2 dot deliveries, that quicker one. We know Aftab loves pace on offer. Straight away gets a boundary. 9 required of 3 deliveries now.
Four runs of the first 3 deliveries. Doesn't matter. What matters is 9 required of the final 3. This one needs to be tonged for a boundary. Where is the boundary? Full, inside out, fielder underneath it. Fielder can hold on to it. Fielder holds on to it. Whatever Ali has done, however many ever runs he's conceded, it's all done and dusted. It's all calculated out of his score sheet. Because this is the big wicket. It's the 9th wicket, but most importantly, it's the wicket of Aftab.
The last ray of hope has been caught out. Rais Ahmed picking up that catch in the deep under pressure. He cannot believe it. 45 of 24 for Ajman. For Aftab, I beg your pardon. And it's a timely wicket for Team Sharjah.
I'm not sure if you heard it, but I heard a roar coming all the way from Abu Dhabi.
Oh, absolutely, they are glued to the television. What a brilliant over under pressure. Trying the ramp shot. Legal delivery. Abu Dhabi will make it to the semi-finals. If Sharjah does not provide those extras, I repeat.
Don't be diplomatic. It is almost final confirmations. Abu Dhabi is going to be playing against Dubai. That's my early beliefs. Right in the block hole. Ali will be picking up his 3rd wicket as well. Zishan couldn't do much about it because it was a gem of a delivery, Jaffa of a delivery, right in the block hole, and Timber disturbed.
You're right on the money. Beautiful delivery. The captain believing in Ali. Yet again, Khalid Shah marshalling his troops to perfection. What a game we witnessed. It was no less than of a seesaw battle. It was a roller coaster ride, and in the end, Sharjah held their nerves. They won by 8 runs. Thanks to some wonderful catching in the deep. Khalid Shah picking up that wonderful catch. It was Ayan Afzal Khan who took a blinder. Rais Ahmed contributing. It was a complete team effort of Sharjah.
Really feel for Adnan ul Mulk. He gave in everything. But at the moment when it mattered the most, Adnan ul Mulk did not come to the party. This is how it all panned out. Junaid Shamsu departed early. They were expecting runs from Sagir. He did get a start, 14 of 6. Ansh Tandon got a start as well, 13 of 6. Shahrukh Amin, 12 of 9. They all departed early and Ajman were in trouble, came to the rescue. Mohammad Aftab Javed, 45 of 24, but he was dismissed in the last over. And nobody in the tail contributing. 97 all out, falling short by just 8 runs. What a performance, what a game have we witnessed between Ajman and Sharjah. The bowling efforts, absolutely spot on. They were all expensive. But then 1 wicket for Rais Ahmed, it was a prize wicket because he opened the flow of wickets for Sharjah. 2 wickets for Wali. He was expensive, but those 2 wickets were very vital. And then 3 wickets apiece for the champion Ayan Khan and Aliyar Mohammed as well. It'll be interesting to see who the player of the match is, because contributions coming from one and all, I think it is going to be for a batsman who is priceless. It all started on the very first delivery. Adnan ul Mulk was sent back to the dugout because of run out. Came in with a lot of intent, Ajman, and they were scoring boundaries at will. And with those boundaries, wickets were falling. Ayan was animated. He picked up a couple of wickets in his very first over, despite leaking a few boundaries, and that's where Ajman fell in a lot of trouble. Missing a straight delivery, and that's where all the issues started. It didn't matter who the batter was, they came in with a lot of intent, a lot of aggressive approach. Ansh Tandon was looking exclusively good, playing shots all round, and that's where he missed a straight delivery. Trouble started for Sharjah. It continued as Ajman were pulling in a partnership and taking things away. And that's exactly where Ayan Khan came into the attack and picked up a wicket. Wali was being tongued around, didn't have an answer. He was conceding runs and conceding way too many runs for the likings of Sharjah. And that is where he found a way to pick up a wicket. Ayan Khan was the catcher. It was a brilliant catch under pressure. The captain came to the rescue as well. He got another catch. And towards the end, Aftab was caught in the deep. Ali finished with the Jaffer of a Yorker to remove the number 11 out of the equation and bowling out Ajman. That's the final match summary. Sharjah batting first, 105 for the loss of 3 on the back of one and only Vritya Arvind, 63 not out of just 36 deliveries, 1 wicket apiece for Junaid Zishan and Sagir. Apart from that, no scores with the bat from most of the batters, and Ajman coming into bat, 45 from Mohammad Aftab. But apart from that, starts for a lot of players, nobody could continue, and that's where Ayan Khan, Ali and Wali making sure that Ajman was all out for 97 runs, falling short by 8 runs. Sharjah.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are for the post-match presentation. Match number 41, Sharjah versus Ajman. And what another magnificent game we've had here. Well, it is so close, but yet so far for Ajman as they lose out a spot in the semi-final tomorrow. And Sharjah once again emerging victorious and winning by 8 runs. A tremendous game of cricket we've had here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Let's jump straight to the presentation ceremony. We've got Mr. Shiju, our match official, to hand over the Man of the Match award. Well, once again, there is absolutely no doubts there. It's Ritya Aravind, the Man of the Match today. Another brilliant performance with the bat. Provided the impetus up front and put Sharjah into a very good position. Ritya, congratulations. A brilliant performance with the bat once again. Well, you've been in red hot form. Well, how does it feel emerging victorious in this all-important game?
Yeah, it feels good, of course. I didn't have a best start to the tournament, but again, always want to peak at the right time towards the business, and I think that's what's been working for me in the last 2 tournaments, and it's good to repeat that again. So hopefully we go. It's a big day tomorrow, and I contribute again.
Well, you've been in red hot form. Yes, I know you started off quite slow, but today, once again, you proved why you are one of the most special young players in the UAE and making a very serious statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to keep knocking the doors. All I can do is perform, and whatever happens, happens. It's God's plan. So all I try to do is perform every time I get an opportunity to and win games for my team.
Well, good luck for the semi-finals tomorrow. Brilliantly played and very well, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, that's Ritya Aravind for you, Man of the Match today. Once again, excellent performance. Well, we have another game coming your way very shortly. Stay tuned.